Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media.
Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to the Wrangell St. Elias National Park and Preserve in southeast Alaska. This combined park and refuge covers an area of 13.2 million acres, and the park portion is the largest in the United States. You could fit 6 Yellowstone national parks within its boundaries. The park starts at sea level and rises to enormous heights at the peak of Mount St. Elias, which is 18,800 feet high. Because of its diverse elevation and land formations, the park contains 3 different climate classifications, and all 3 have cold winters and short, warm summers. Wrangell St. Elias is bordered on the east by Kluane National Park in Canada, with the 2 parks creating a vast and isolated corridor for wildlife to thrive and tempting places for people to adventure. The valley bottoms feature dense black and white spruce stands, balsam poplar, paper birch, and quaking aspen, with raspberries, crowberries, baneberries, and currants growing along fresh water. This beautiful and eclectic array of plant life supports caribou, moose, bison, mountain goats, Dall sheep, and numerous rodent species. Maintaining a balance in the game animals, coyotes, wolves, lynx, and black and brown bears stalk the brush. Participating as an apex predator in this niche is competitive and dangerous, and the fact that you're a human being doesn't reduce that potential. On Wednesday, September 8, 2021, 19-year-old Jason Long was chasing Dall sheep with his hunting partner and longtime friend, whom we will refer to as Trevor. Jason lived in Eagle River, which is a small town just northeast of Anchorage. He was an avid sportsman and enjoyed hunting in the Alaska woods every time he could get away. After the events that were about to transpire, Jason would certainly have preferred the comforts of his home. As Jason and Trevor hiked the rocky slopes above the tree line, they scanned the distant peaks for signs of sheep. This activity involved hours of hiking to prominent positions on a mountain and sitting for hours while looking through a spotting scope. Every detail of the mountain is carefully examined for telltale signs of sheep. With the animals lying down, a hunter may only see its head or ears sticking above the short brush around it. It is tedious but rewarding to sportsmen who are a special breed in the hunting world. At one point in their climb, the 2 hunters decided to survey different areas and meet up at a set point toward evening. Trevor agreed to watch over one side of the mountain, and Jason indicated that he would be observing one from further around the mountain. They split ways and headed in their chosen directions. The view of the land around Jason's path revealed the steep walls of an unnamed drainage as it made its way to the Chisana River, which parts the village of Chisana 11 miles away. It is the nearest civilization to the hunters, as they embraced the wilderness. The knee-high brush surrounding Jason didn't seem like it was sufficient to conceal anything larger than a rabbit, so he hurried around the mountain. Just before 1 p.m., he crested a small fold in a ridge when a large, dark brown shape formed out of the corner of his eye. Out of instinct, he threw his backpack from his shoulders and scrambled to raise his hunting rifle. The sow grizzly had been moving around the same mountainside when Jason ran into her and her cubs. The distance between them was only 15 yards, which is an alarmingly close distance from a protective mama bear. The possibility of her dashing away with her cubs is just about as likely as her attacking a threat as her fight or flight response is triggered. She could have fled, but she chose to fight. Closing in on Jason at a terrifying speed, the sow was on him before he could do anything to defend himself. In a blur of teeth and claws, she knocked him down, but he managed to hold on to his rifle. Once on his back, Jason fired at the sow from near point-blank range, but missed. Working the action on his rifle, he quickly fired a second round, as she tossed him around. Biting him several times all over his body, the sow imparted painful and severe wounds to Jason's flesh. He hoped that Trevor would hear the shots fired from his rifle, realizing his friend may be his only hope to live. Like a mirage, the sow and her cubs were suddenly gone. The silence that engulfed Jason seemed deafening and uneasy. Glancing around, Jason found his backpack and searched for the small first aid kit it contained. He brushed aside the Band-Aids and searched for the gauze bandages, even though they were still inadequate to treat his wounds. They gave him some peace of mind, but not much else. Returning to his backpack, he searched for the most important piece of equipment that would help him in the situation. He pulled out his inReach by Garmin and sent an emergency help request, then waited for Trevor to find him. As Jason lay bleeding and in pain, the Air National Guard received his request for help. A Pavehawk II HH-60 helicopter was ordered to respond and departed soon thereafter. They were involved in exercises near Talkeetna and responded affirmatively to their new mission. It was great practice for the pararescue crew on board, but it was a life-saving effort for Jason. The Air National Guard craft even managed to locate and pick up Trevor after hoisting Jason on board. At Providence, Alaska Medical Center in Anchorage, Jason's numerous puncture wounds and lacerations from the sow's claws were closed with sutures. He was listed in stable condition a short time after arrival. As Jason healed up in the hospital, wildlife officers investigated the circumstances surrounding his attack. Deeming the sow's actions defensive, it was decided she would not face any action against her or her cubs. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to our episodes, and the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Are you surprised at a huge grizzly bear's ability to appear out of nowhere near watchful hunters? Would bear spray have made a difference in this attack? Would a pistol be a better defense than a high-powered hunting rifle at only 15 yards? Do you own an inReach by Garmin? I'm seriously thinking of buying one. I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it.
Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.